All right, we're here for the Week 3 press conference with offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Jake Spavital prior to Idaho week, and we will go ahead and get started with Matt Moreno from Rivals.
Morning, Jake. When Sam came into the game, it felt like there was a pretty clear spark, at least a scoring drive. Was there anything that you noticed on that drive that you could maybe use moving forward to maybe bottle up and then try and produce more of those types of performances and drives?
Yeah, just where we were at during that, getting into our sixth drive. All right, we went 5 drives with Ben, and it had nothing to do with Ben. It just, the run game wasn't hitting like it should hit. We weren't making the plays that we needed to play, so we needed a spark, and we thought that Sam could create something with his feet at times. If there's a protection, breakdown, or we could utilize him in some QB run game, and I thought that was something that Sam did really well. But overall with Sam, I thought there was a lot of inconsistency at times. He does have a great skill set, but he left a lot out there as well. And there's got to be a lot more improvement in the quarterback room with Ben and with Sam, and it all starts with me. It does, and there's a lot. I've had a lot of time with these guys over the fall camp and throughout spring football with Sam, and you know what they're capable of doing. You kind of understand what their strengths and their weaknesses are, but we got to continue to develop and make them a well-rounded quarterback that could be able to do everything. Because it kind of got to a little bit more of a street ball style when Sam was in the game, and I've got to be better with that and put them in better positions. Especially when the run game's not hitting like what we normally do, and just the pass game and the one-on-ones, we weren't having the explosive plays like what we were expecting, and that all starts with me, and we're going with Sam, as what Coach said earlier, and there's going to be vast improvements this weekend.
All right, we'll go to Jeff Ferrato from Cal Sports Report.
Hey Jake, Justin also said that you guys are anticipating that Jaden will be able to play on Saturday. Can you tell us how he looked in practice today, and also what was it like for you watching on the sidelines when he went up in the air and landed so hard?
Yeah, when he went up in the air, it just kind of summarized up our entire night. It just it was unfortunate. We've talked to him a lot about not jumping and hurdling because of what could happen, and what did happen on that play. But yeah, when he was in midair, we were running down our depth chart in the running back room was getting pretty slim at that point, and that's kind of where my next initial thought was when I saw Jaden, where he had to be taken out of the game, was who was going to be the next guys in, and it was Stredick and Isaiah, and I had to get Javen Thomas ready as well, and that's kind of where we're at with that room, where we've got a lot of injuries in that room, and when you lose a guy like Jaden, you're going to have a guy with not very much experience step up and make some plays. And what was the first part of that question? Just
how he looked today in practice.
Oh, yeah, he looked good.
What to say about how he was feeling?
Yeah, he seems like we're anticipating him to play. We were limited with him at times. It's more about mental stuff with him, and that's going to increase as the week goes on. So you're going to see a lot more of him. But he was locked in. He was out there, and we're anticipating him to be the guy coming on Saturday.
All right, we'll go to Steve Kroner from the SF Chronicle.
Yeah, Jake, when you look back on that game, you obviously the opportunities squandered is what comes back at you. Sometimes I'm thinking you will second guess play calling. Sometimes it's just the plays were there and players didn't make the plays. If you have kind of break down, what percentage of play calls you'd rather have back and or just plays that were there and didn't get made.
Yeah, there's 3 calls that I'd like back. I've watched this game plenty of times over the last 48 hours. Yeah. I just felt like we were playing with like 10 guys every single play. And it's not just one person. It was the quarterback on a play, it was maybe the running back on the play, it was maybe like the left tackle, it was maybe the receiver. And just the consistency was not there. That's been the message all week. And so far this week is just don't get bored with doing the little things right. And there's times where you can show a play of a kid doing the play and executing it complete, just as clean as you possibly can. and then you come back and you run the play again, and the technique changes, and he does something different. And it's just about staying consistent and doing your job over and over and over again. Like I've got to be better. Like I didn't think our one-on-ones, like we tested some one-on-ones early. We weren't winning the one-on-ones on the perimeter. All right. In the run game, we handed the ball off 40 times, and it weren't getting the explosive plays. We had roughly around 80 plays, and we had 6 explosive plays total. All right, and that's not who we are. We had 19 versus North Texas, and the run game like had its moments. Like when we played with tempo and got in a rhythm, that was when we started playing well. And if you look at those first 5 drives, we ended up having like a fumble on a reverse that could have been a pretty good play. We had a holding penalty, just stopped the momentum of the drive. All right, like there was a lot of things that kind of just negated the rhythm of what we were trying to get to. But when we play with the tempo and we're doing simple execution and we're making those 4 or 5 yard gains off the run game and like on the perimeter, it makes it a lot easier to call plays and get in the rhythm of it. We just couldn't find a rhythm at times. I felt like when you really break it down and you look at the mistakes, it was really a mixture of everybody. And it starts with me. It starts with me in terms of the consistency that I have to bring every single day with these guys and make sure that they're doing the same things over and over and over again at a high level, and just really be kind of firm with not letting that slip at all. Because when you look at it, when we play our best ball, we're very efficient in what we do, and we're explosive. But when we do a lot of self-inflicted wounds, and like we kind of beat ourselves at times, and they recognize that. They recognize that like if we don't get a holding penalty here, if we just catch the ball here, or if we make the right block or make the right call here, like we're not going to be getting just like those 2 yard rushing plays. We'll be getting those 4, 5, 6, and that's going to make your second down call better. That's going to make your third down call better. But we crossed the 40 8 times and only had 10 points. That's the defense played phenomenal. The defense put the offense in so many great positions, and the offense didn't. We didn't score points, and that's what it comes down to. And that game's completely on me. It's completely on, completely on the offense, and we're going to get that corrected.
Next question will come from Thomas Dunn from Right for California.
Good morning, Jake. You mentioned the consistency and how hard it was to establish the run game. There was a concerted effort to get things going really between the guards in terms of the run game. How difficult was it to implement the rest of the game plan that you wanted when you weren't necessarily getting the results you needed?
Yeah, and like I'm saying, we went 80 plays, like they were fighting and they were battling, and we were getting yardage at times, like it wasn't the chunk yardage that we wanted. When what's frustrating with me is that we held the ball for a long time and we were out there like with opportunities to make plays. It's completely different when you snap it like 55 times and you completely get choked out and you don't make the like you just don't have any opportunities, and it's just a bad offensive ball. So what's frustrating to me is just that we were out there multiple times and we were just kind of fighting our way lethargically in a way, just like 3 yards here and 3 yards here. We went for it on 4th down 6 times. That kind of just shows where the consistency's got to improve, and I've got to put these guys in better situations. And I thought I had a good feel with Ben and Sam at times, but obviously it didn't add up the way I needed it to add up.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrado.
Jake, what do you see in the Idaho defense when you watch them on tape? And is the key to this one, maybe always, but to get the run game going again and get that established?
I think it's we got to get everything going. We've got to be able to be efficient. We've got to be comfortable calling any single play that we're out there. Like it's just not. If we got to get the run game established, but we got to get the perimeter established as well. We got to get our quick game going better, our intermediate passing, and our shot plays. Like we've got to get it all going at a higher level. All right, and we're capable of doing it. And it just comes back to the consistency of just who we are and just repping it over and over again. But you look at this Idaho defense, I think, they're coached very well. I got a lot of respect for their head coach. I've known him for a long time. He's going to be a very tough physical team. That's what it's going to be. Like I know how they play, their style of play. He's an offensive line guy, so they're going to be physical on offense. And then you talk about them on defense, it's going to be the same thing, because like I guarantee you, they practice toughness, and we're going to have to. We have a tough challenge ahead. Like they've had 2 really good wins. Like last week versus Nevada, they only had 6 points scored on them. They had a lot of turnovers. They caused a lot of confusion. I think what I see the most about them is how hard they play, the motor that they play with up front. They're being very disruptive in the run game. They're going to be multiple with their stunts and their blitzes, and they're kind of like 25% a quarters team, a 25% a cover 2 team, 25% a cover 3 team. So they mix and match it up, and they keep you on your toes, and there's not very many tendencies that you have to look at. So it's I think it's going to be a tough challenge. They're very similar. They're a 4-down team. So you're going to see some similar fronts of what we saw last week and what we see every day versus Coach Sermon. But we got a tough challenge ahead of us, and we've got to respond from our game from last week.
All right, we'll go to Matt Moreno from Rivals.
Coach confirmed to us Saturday that you guys are going to be without Sindo for the rest of the season. Are there any concerns that can maybe not allow you to do all the things you want to do offensively, losing a piece like that?
No, we can do it all still. We can. It's a very unfortunate for Sindo. He's a great man. This game means a lot to him. This place means a lot to him, and to have the same injury on a different arm in back-to-back years has got to be frustrating, because he was relentless in his training and his treatment and rehab on getting back and being really a unanimous team captain. Just unfortunate to see how that went down in versus North Texas, really in the first quarter. But he's still our team captain. He's been great. He's running around, still helping everybody out. He's another voice for that offensive line. But I'm 100% confident in the O-line with Driscoll running the show now, and Wyckoff in as well. We prepared for these moments and these situations in the depth chart, and I feel that we're going to be able to run any play that we call. It's really up to us to figure out the scheme and what's hitting and how to really attack the defenses that we're going up against.
All right, let's go back to Jeff Ferrato from Cal Sports Report.
Yeah, when I looked at the participation chart, it indicated you only played 6 offensive linemen in the game. Is that correct? And do you feel like you have more guys that you can be confident in?
Yeah, we do. We just felt like that was a very tough defensive front to go up against now, and just with some of the experience that we got with these transfers, with Barrett Miller obviously and Matthew Wyckoff, like those guys have played a lot. If we were starting to get down to some guys that haven't played much ball at that point, if you put another offense lineman in the game, so we just felt where we were at, we wanted to stick with just our main guys and kind of battle that out, because the game was really close the entire game, and we needed to make sure that we had our top guys in to fight it through. So you'll see some more guys going in and out throughout the course of this next game and moving forward. But just where we were at, and just based off of the injury and the news of Sindo, that was kind of our direction moving forward for that week.
So obviously you're playing Idaho here this week, but then you jump into the Pac-12 and you've got a lot of really, really good teams. Do you believe you'll play more than 6 guys going forward?
We've talked about it. There's a couple guys that we always keep a close eye on. I think Coach Blesh does a good job in terms of understanding how they're playing and if they're tired or not. We're snapping the ball a lot. We are. The difference between the North Texas game, we were very explosive, and last week we weren't. But you're still snapping it 80 times to 95 versus North Texas, and 80 times versus North Texas when we're in a 95 play, that kind of shootout, we played a lot more offensive linemen. But when we were kind of in that 80 range for a game, we played our 6 offensive linemen, and hopefully we get more in just to get more evals, because that position, if one guy goes down, it's just a mass change of really the best 5 that we got, and how we put them in the game and what order we put them in. So we feel confident with Braden Rome being the swing guy, all right, and you can bring in Bastion Sweeney and guys like that, Day at center. So we feel good with probably about 8 guys right now that can move and shake pretty well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we'll wrap it up with a final question from Thomas Dunn from Right for California.
Coach, as you go into this week versus Idaho, is it fair to say that this will be I don't want to say reality check, but this will be where you find out what your group is made of after seeing some big adversity versus Auburn?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of look yourself in the mirror and correct it and fix it, and you've got to bring it. We're not even close to the potential of who we are, and we've got to bring it every single day. We're still a young team, and in certain areas that we need a lot of reps and we need a lot of improvement. And the message is that we've got to respond, because that's not who we were last week, and that's not who we are. And we need to have a better performance this Saturday.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, that'll do it for this week's press conference with Coach Spavital. We'll be back with Isaiah Ponce here in a few minutes.
Thank you.